Hello and welcome to Be Shifted. My name's Addison. This is your first time joining us. Thanks for being here. Right now I'm in the middle of a series where I'm working on the front end of this 1972 Chevelle. I'm replacing all of the steering components and the front suspension parts. Today I'm going to troubleshoot putting in the lower control arm bushings. If you haven't seen the previous video where I go over the issues that I'm having with the lower control arm bushings, you can see it here. And if you've been following along since the beginning, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Let's get shifted. Here's our measurements for the lower control arm. I have my ovular channel here with A. This is control arm 1, the one that already has the bushing in it, and control arm 2 is the one that doesn't. A is my ovular, B is my circular side, and then C is my measurement between the two arms. So I have a pretty large disparity here between 1 and 2. I think 2 is what I'm supposed to be at, and I think 1 is the bushing that's actually in there right now is spreading it out. My friend Dave had an idea. He hit me up last night. He said, how about you try taking 2 sockets on each side, take a piece of all thread, thread it through the bushing, and then you have nuts. I'm also going to use some washers, and you put them on the ends of the socket, and you squish the bushing in that way. In case you're wondering, this is all thread. When you're looking at these, 3/8 inch is the outer diameter. So they call it outer diameter or OD. 16 is the thread per inch count. So 16 written other ways would be called 16 TPI, thread per inch. And it's 1 foot, that's the length of this bar. So when you're looking for a nut, you see right here, it says 3/8, 16. That means you have a 3/8 hole and you have a 16 thread per inch thread. But yeah, a little bit of information there. This can apply to anything. I mean, if you're not doing car parts, you're doing something else, you're needing something that's threaded and you need a nut, that's how you can go buy it. Metric also has, this is for standard, so standard being American. Metric goes by numbers, so like number 16, number 13, that's how they have, those numbers have a dedicated thread per inch count. So there you go, just a little bit of knowledge. I'm going to go slice this off real quick. Be right back. Here's where we're at. The idea by Dave is working. The bushing is actually starting to go in. I needed to cut this angle iron bigger actually than the channel, and I had to pound it in because the channel, like I said before, the channel had collapsed. So this bushing wasn't going in straight. But it looks like, it doesn't just look like, here, hold on. It's going through. I can see all, or rather I can feel all of my corners, or my corners are the round. I can feel all of my edges of the bushing going in. So it's working. That's exciting. I'm going to get back to pressing. That's awesome. Thanks again, Dave. So there was, I'll show you in a second, but there was no way I was going to be able to push this in with that rubber hanging out on the side of the lip. That was just an acceptable loss. Here's what I meant about marring up that rubber. I really don't know how you could avoid that, because, on this bushing, there's a pretty solid lip that you can use to press on. With this, I don't know how else you would do it. Anyway, bushings for one lower control arm are done. Still have to get the ball joint pressed into it, but that's great. And then I'll get the bump stop. That didn't feel great. Ball joints in, bump stops in. I'll tighten that down. Last piece of the puzzle. Get that last bump stop in, my Zerk fitting, and then we're ready to put these on the car. As you saw, lower control arms are all done, ball joints are in, bushings are in, all of our parts are ready to go back in. Next video is going to be all putting everything together. So we're not going to have any more parts. You don't have to worry about, oh, we're going to do this part. No, everything's going to go back in. I pretty much plan on, by the time that next video drops, I'm doing a test drive. That's where I want to be by the time the next video comes out. To get there, it's going to be a lot of work, but got a pretty good weekend coming up, so I'll knock it out. If you saw any tools in this video that you liked, please check out the description for links to those tools. If you liked today's video, please hit like, throw a comment down there, tell me if you thought anything, if this inspired any thoughts in you, if it shifted your opinion or thoughts about cars, working on parts, and hit the notification bell so that you can see when I drop any videos. I want to give out a thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. Please stay tuned for more cool stuff. It's not just going to be old cars. We're going to be doing some more modern stuff as well. And you joined at the perfect time, because someday you're going to be able to say, man, I subscribed to that guy back when he only had 20 subscribers. Thanks for joining today. I hope you were shifted.